In case you haven't noticed, I try to read every comment I get. Following the release of my first BFDI theory titled, What Are One's Real Intentions?, you guys had a lot to say, and I mean a lot. You guys have so many theories, and honestly, they're better than mine. I read every single one of them, and there's so many that I've decided to make a video about them. If you don't see your comment in this video, then that doesn't mean I didn't like your theory. It just means that there are so many theories that I got. Also, I saw a large portion of the comments saying that Gady is a girl. Yep, got that. I know she's a girl now. Moving on. Alright, let's get into this. The first theory is by a user called Bookie_Love. It reads, I'ma dump my theory here. So my theory is that before Teapot or BFB started, 3 knew about 1's plan to take 2's power and that they tried to stop 1, but was beaten and then sent and imprisoned into 4's mind. My theory on how 1 got into the moon is that 2 found out about 1's plan and trapped 1 in the moon via their powers. My guess is that when 1 says they were an old friend of 2, what they meant was that they used to be friends until 2 trapped 1 in the moon after finding out about their plan. Okay, to start off, it's a pretty good theory. Although 3's character is leaning towards being an ally of 1 instead of trying to oppose her, this could still be vice versa as a huge plot twist. 1 could have very well imprisoned 3 in 4's mind, but seeing that she was upset with 4 and X finds out his value, and the fact that she avoids letting them see her in Teapot means that she probably wouldn't have gone up to 4 carrying 3 and saying something like, Hey 4, I know I hate you, but can you please swallow this algebraian for me so I can take 2's powers from them and end the world like my big brother Belt Cypher? However, if this theory were to be fully true, 3 and 1 must have been really close for them to know her plans to steal 2's powers. This would also imply that they had the guts to even stand up to 1 and cause the ultimate betrayal. Saying that 3 was beaten in the battle by 1 could also mean that they may have had powers, but they weren't nearly as strong as 1's. Moving on, how would 2 know about 1's plans? This part is a stretch, but it could still be true. 3 could somehow telepath to warn 2 about 1's plans, or some other form of communication, maybe even manipulating 4 and controlling him and making him tell 2 about 1's plans. 3 being an ally of 2 would be the ultimate plot twist for BFDI. And assuming that this theory was true, then 3 would also have to have been close to 2 as well, given that they even thought to warn 2 about 1's plans. 1 being 2's former friend would also be very likely, given that all the Algebraians seem to have a friendship with each other, and not so much as these 2 Algebraians only like each other, but more as a huge friend group that was broken up by trauma and, let's be honest, quite a bunch of PTSD. Alright, next comment. This next one by the user NotMarara, cute profile pic BTW, reads, I personally think 1 is stealing the limbs and mouth from Bommy and Belle. Why? IDK, I'm still trying to find more evidence, but the only thing I can find in common between the 2 of them is that they both start with B and are loud at the moment. I also think 1 and 3 are definitely working together or something, because if you put them next to each other, it's a 13, a commonly unlucky number that brings misfortune and evil. I also had this thought as to 1 being trapped in the moon by 4, possibly after something she did long ago, so now she's trying to get power from 2 to get revenge, possibly? First off, the limb stealing. 1's acting like Yellowface, I'm just saying. Next, the part where they said, if you put them next to each other, it's a 13, a commonly unlucky number that brings misfortune and evil, my brain exploded with a whole bunch of theories. It's even shown in X finds out his value that when 1 and 3 were standing by each other, they resembled a 13. Given that they seemed to have a bond in that episode, they could have gotten teased by the other Algebraians about being an unlucky number if they combined, possibly including 2 and 4, which could have given 1 a reason to try and unalive them, as she may have felt embarrassed or something, and 3 could have helped her out with obliterating them. 1 being trapped in the moon by 4 is also an interesting theory. Everyone else assumed that it was 2 who did it, even me, but Not-Makara thought differently. Kudos back to you. 4 could have very well taken on both of them, swallowing 3 and locking him in the jail cell thing that is somehow inside of him, and also trapping 1 in the moon to get rid of her. Also, when the moon broke open thanks to Yellowface's negligence to the moon fixing a few rounds back.
Hey! It was my whole team!
Okay.
2 didn't seem all that worried. That could also imply that it could have been 4 who did it, as 2 would have seemed uncomfortable or at least a bit disturbed when they noticed that the moon broke open, assuming that they were the one who locked 1 in, meaning that they would know that 1 is loose. Second to final theory by Mephone_3GS2763 reads, my theory is that 1 and 2 have old beef, That's why 2 never talks about her, because he got over it, but she never did. That's why she wants to steal his power or maybe even kill him. Or she thinks he's the easiest target, so she wants to take it and use it to control all of the other Algebrailians. To start off, yummy beef! Anyways, yes, it's very likely that they had some trauma together causing 2 to not talk about her, but saying that they got over the whole thing is another viewpoint altogether. 2 getting over stuff seems easy for them, as they seem to get over Gady being voted out and even gets the couch for her and them to sit on and talk together in the kitchen. And saying that 1 never got over whatever happened is smart too, as she says, not a fan of things not going your way, are you? Unfortunately, I think we have that in common, implying that she hasn't forgotten something in the past that didn't go her way, possibly between 2 and her, and that's why she wants 2's powers, to hurt or even kill him because of that. Also, mephone_3gs2, I'm not saying all that again, saying that she thinks they're the easiest target could also imply that they're one of the weakest Algebrailians with powers if this were true. That would also mean that if this power they have right now is considered weak by others, then just imagine how much power 1 could have if she got their powers. I mean, she can already manipulate Goiki from inside her dome, so imagine what she can do with lava. I mean, just think real quick. What if she grabbed some lava from the volcano and brought it back inside her dome where she can view the world and then drop the lava onto the world? Would it burn all of Goiki? Saying that she would want to control all of the other Algebrailians is also a smart way of looking at it. That would also imply that she really looks up to her brother Bill Cipher as a Chaos Overlord, and that she just wants to be just like him and be a Chaos Overlord-esque. Okay, final comment is by Mega_Pro-QL2NK. Why do you guys have such hard names? And reads, I think 1 has some negative relationship with 4 from the line 5, 4, ugh, 3, 2. This might mean that along with 4's possible imprisoning 3, as seen in Teapot 11, 4 might also have some bad past with 1. I've literally never thought of that before. First off, this user analyzing the line 5, 4, ugh, is really smart. It would also imply that 1 dislikes 4 more than 2, as she doesn't say ugh when she says 2. This could also reinforce the idea that 4 trapped her in the moon, as she would hate him for doing that. I mean, come on, wouldn't you hate it if someone trapped you in the moon? With this, we would also assume that 4 imprisoned 3 by himself, also reinforcing NotMarara's comment that I expanded on, stating that 4 locked 3 in the jail cell in his mind. This would also mean that 4 could have had a bad past with not just 1, but 3 as well, maybe even hinting at a plan that 1 made to steal not just 2's powers, but 4's as well. And that's it for this video. You all had such good theories, and I will absolutely make a part 2 on these theories because honestly, y'all are way better at me than this. I'm so proud of my spendies. But until the next video, please subscribe if you want to see Bill get roasted some more. So long, and stay so spendy.